Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hi, this is Acme with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Tuesday, the 4th of April, sponsored by the UK Investor Show. Starting off with the revisit of all active asset capital, largely on the basis of the bounce off 0.95 for 2 days in a row, and also strong green candle that we've got today, just breaking yesterday's high, so very, very solid looking intraday price action so far. Obviously, one day doesn't dictate the rest of the near term, but at the moment, still, while we're above the 1 penny area, looking for 2 pence, which is the top of that relatively obscure price channel drawn from February, just to cheer people up. On to stock which been all over the sort of the Twitterati social media, AA, which I thought previously was a private equity inspired disaster area. That still may be the case, but at least on a charting basis, interesting the way that we've got this very oversold RSI for an extended period, which you don't normally see that often. That the implication is that eventually that will push much higher to the upside. The level to break is a line of resistance from mid-March running at 17 pence, so an end of day close above that, and the stock could hit the top of a rising channel from last month up to 25 pence. Obviously at this stage 14.5 to 15 pence is a support level that needs to hold in order to prove the bulls right on that. Another bottom fishing situation is which is being talked about ad infinitum, is a Brown Group. Here we've got, I suppose, the neckline broken at 20 pence, currently just above that, so end of day, end of week close above that. Could take the shares at least up to retest mid-March resistance at 31 pence, which would be a nice return even from current levels, and even after the recent rise. Best case scenario here up to 49 pence, which is the area of the 50-day moving average, but obviously that would appear to be rather ambitious at the moment. Stock that's been beaten up of late, largely due to the restaurant issues associated with lockdown in the UK, is Big Dish, but you can see that but basically the stock has broken this line of resistance from February around the 0.7 pence level. Didn't really go below that in the consolidation that we had since then, and is now through the 1 pence level. We've got resistance up there from mid-March at 1.28 pence, a gap to fill up towards 1.5 pence, and that area could be hit, especially while we hold above 0.8 pence, which is today's intraday support. RSI just coming off the oversold levels at the moment as well. Stock which I've never heard of before, but is certainly around in terms of a potential bottom fishing situation, comes in the form of Equals Group. Here you can see that there is a line of resistance that has been broken from last month, if I can draw it, from around the 21 pence level. While we hold above that, looking for a retest of the last resistance on the way down towards 30 pence plus. Stop loss just back below 20 pence probably at the moment is the best way forward. Stock which is another one which could be just getting underway is Ints Group. This sort of same kind of neckline break that we've had, neckline resistance break that we've had on a couple of other stocks I've looked at today. Neckline in this case around the 18 pence level, and why we hold above that, looking to fill the gap at least up towards 23, 24 pence. Best case scenario at the moment probably up to the 28 to 30 pence area, which was support on the way down. Onto a stock which has certainly come up with the goods today. Global Petroleum, you can see a massive move here. It's a bit like Petra Diamonds was yesterday. Here the situation is that we've easily broken this line of resistance from the end of January. An end of day close above the 50-day moving average today at 1.25 could take the shares back up towards former February resistance in the 1.7, 1.8 pence zone over the next week or so. More normal fare coming from Jubilee Metals. Here we've got a triangle break through 2.5 pence, and while we hold above that, looking for the 50-day moving average at 3.25 pence. Stop loss back below, I suppose 2.4 pence would do the trick at the moment. Been waiting and saving up on LEC oil in the recent past, but it looks as though the break of this neckline resistance there at 2 pence has done the trick. 2.13 pence, in fact, has done the trick for the shares. While we're above that, looking for a top of January broadening triangle target as high as 4 pence. And confidence would be built on an end of day close today above the 50-day line at 2.41 pence. Stock which has been on the back foot for quite a while is Lansdowne Oil and Gas, but finally breaking that extended, very, very long triangle, falling wedge, I suppose is a better description, falling wedge from October last year, above the 50-day moving average at 0.48 pence. Initially looking to the 200-day line at a penny, and then after that, over the next 2 to 3 months, as high as the top of a broadening triangle from September at 1.5 pence. Speaking of Petra Diamonds, which I was a few moments ago, that's broken its neckline yesterday at around the 2 pence level. That was support on the way down. And while we hold above that, looking for the 50-day moving average at 4.6 pence over the next few weeks. Finishing off with Pathfinder Minerals, which I looked at, I think, a few days ago. Just want to highlight it again, really. Today's price action wholly above the 50-day moving average at 0.64, which is a plus for the shares and technical plus as well. Best case scenario target here, the top of a broadening triangle from December at 1.5 pence. Initial target obviously back up to the 1 to 1.2 pence resistance, which was there on the way down. That's it for me today on a bumper edition. Join me again tomorrow.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.